I recently bought 12 birdhouses from Amazon and I decorated this first one as a cute gingerbread house. And if you're interested in this video, here is the thumbnail up in the corner. But I'm not going to make them all gingerbread themed. Today I'm going to be making a really adorable woodland themed birdhouse Christmas ornament. And I started off by just painting it a red and a brown, and I gathered together a bunch of different greenery colors, flocked, sparkle, glitter, you name it. I had it right here in front of me because I was actually just kind of going to wing it. Normally I want to plan everything out and figure out exactly where everything goes, but I wanted it to look natural. And sometimes when you plan absolutely every step, it doesn't quite look natural. So I just played around with it by adding different greenery, laying it on top of the birdhouse to see what I liked, to see what I disliked, and cutting it at different heights and just layering them. I wanted all the tall pieces to go down first, and then I just added shorter and shorter pieces as I worked to the front. I also even sometimes lifted up some of the pieces on the back and glued things behind it to add extra height. And I really enjoyed doing this. It was so nice to just get in there, do something quickly, not have everything planned out, and it worked out great. It didn't look messy, it didn't look bad. I liked how it turned out, so I'm definitely going to make more of these for my craft show. But for this one in particular, I just added different heights on both sides of the little bird hole, you know, where they fly in and out, and wanted to add, like I said earlier, just a variety of things. Now, some of the items ended up being too large, like the little pine cones to the side, so I don't end up doing those. But if you are ever wondering, you know, what should I do? How should I get started? Sometimes it's great just to jump right in. And for this video, I also just didn't want to slow it down and cut up a bunch of little clips of me gluing things down. I wanted you to kind of see the whole process. You can see how I'm thinking about it, trying to decide where to put things, and just going for it. So I really loved how it turned out, like I said, and I'm definitely going to make different ones. If you have any ideas on colors that I should use, colors that you would like to see on the birdhouse, I don't know if they're all going to be red and brown. I might have more like a green birdhouse or maybe even a blue birdhouse, and maybe different themes. This one has a lot of white and red. Maybe there'll be some with like gold and silver, you never know. So tell me in the comments down below if you have a preference on how I should decorate all these birdhouses, because I have plenty. I have lots of work to do. Also, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love to paint, but I have to realize that not everybody enjoys painting or can paint. And I want to give you a variety of ideas. I don't want every single project I do to be heavily reliant on painting abilities. So I think this was also a great idea to just show you something that, yes, you have to paint the base coat, but gluing things together, something quick, something fun, is also an option. Now for the roof, I took this pine cone and just ripped off several of the top little pieces, and these are going to be some shingles. I'm not going to cover the entire roof. I'm just going to do clusters of 2 or 3 together, and this might actually be my favorite part because I just thought this was so adorable. I thought, wow, I am really using my brain cells today doing these little pine cone pieces on top. I thought it looked super cute. Now on the back, I also just kind of mimicked what I did on the front of various heights and styles and greenery and all that good stuff, gluing it all together. And I wanted to do something on the back, even though you don't really see it on the back of a tree. You never know when it might spin to the side or turn around, and it's always good to have a little extra something on the back of your ornament. Also, to all my crafty friends out there, tell me, what have you been working on? Have you been making any Christmas things in the summer? Have you been doing summer projects, you know, seasonal things? To me, this summer has been extra wet and actually extra cool. We've just recently started to have some pretty hot days, and to come it's going to get pretty hot. For the most part though, it's been kind of even chilly at night sometimes. And so I've been really in the crafting mood because of the weather being so wet. I can't get out too much in the garden as much as I'd like to. So tell me what you've been working on. Now on the sides, it's really hard for me to come up with something different other than a window. I just feel like the side is a perfect place for a window, but I didn't want to just paint a window. So I have these large branches that I got from Hobby Lobby at the end of Christmas last year, and a few of them have small tiny little twigs that come off, and I cut these down to make a little wooden window. And again, I thought this was so cute. I really thought it fit the theme, and they have a slight flocking to them, so it really looks like it's been dusted with snow. So after cutting them out and measuring them all to size, I just gently glued them together, and it made the perfect little window on both sides of my ornament. And I'm finally getting to use my puffy paint. I was so excited to try this out, and I just squeezed it over the top of these little pinecone pieces. I also made it look like there was a little bit of snow on top of the roof. And I think it's just the perfect added touch. It adds a little 3D element, and it really does look like real snow. Y'all don't know this, but I actually tried a gingerbread house themed with the puffy paint, where I just tried to do the entire thing puffy paint, and it was hideous. It looked like a toddler had gotten a hold of it and used it with their foot to try to make a gingerbread house. It was awful. I had to scrape off everything. I sucked up as much puffy paint as possible. I thought, oh no, here I've just wasted all this puffy paint, but I got a lot back in the bottle. So I definitely need more practice with just drawing with puffy paint. So that's why I resorted to just using it as like globs of snow. So I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. For anybody who can use puffy paint that well, good job, because I found it to be quite hard. But to add a little extra sparkle while it was still wet, I'm taking my diamond dust and just sprinkling it on top, and the puffy paint also acted as a glue, so it stuck really well to that. And it just added the perfect little touch, just a nice little glitter to the top, to the edges. And here is my finished ornament. I absolutely, like I've said a million times probably, I love this. I like all the little details, and I also love that it is a woodsy themed ornament. It's not just my typical gingerbread house ornament that I usually do. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm making Christmas crafts all year long, all through the summer, fall, winter, spring. And if you give this video a like, that will let me know that you want to see more crafts like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.